Ladies and gentlemen, hello, welcome back. How you doing today? Great? Awesome. Today we'll be watching a series between IM's Horror and Beastyqt. We are on the map Antigua Shipyard, spawning down in the lower left-hand spawn position. Our Blue Zerg player is IM Horror. He is currently the 40th ranked master in his particular division, but don't let that fool you. With 26 games played, he has 23 wins and 3 losses. Ridiculous. And just goes to show you that, a lot of pro players don't even bother with the ladder. It's not that important to them. He clearly belongs way far above his current ranking of 40th in his Masters division, since he's completely rolling over everyone he plays against. And then over here, his opponent, Beastyqt, our yellow Terran player, the 24th ranked Grand Master with 232 wins and 94 losses. Obviously, Beastyqt's playing a little bit more ladder this season than Horror is, but that is not indicative of who the victor of this series will be. Not at all. It's just, and this is why I never even in the first place started giving stats at the beginning of games. I mean, I guess it's something to do, right? But Horror, like, he's 40th master right now in his division, but he's rolling people. 23 wins and 3 losses. Like, that's ridiculous. He's demolishing anyone he comes up against. So he obviously belongs in a higher position, but he's just not playing a lot of ladder because most of his games are likely against other pros, probably like this one. All right, now Horror moving on in with some scouting. Let's see what he's managing to do here. Not really checking much at all. He's going to be dancing around, bypassing the SCV. Oh, how exciting. Now he's going down for a hatch first, as you can see over here. Hatchery coming on down before that first spawning pool. And unbelievably enough, Beastyqt going expansion first too. That's a little risky. And we'll see what Horror decides to do, if he's going to try to punish him for that. He was moving back and forth and going back here and stuff. He was basically just checking. He wanted to see, hey, is there a Rax hidden somewhere? Is there something on the low ground? What the heck's going on? None of that stuff was happening, though, as we saw Beastyqt instead deciding just to go expansion first. Very risky, but who knows? Horror could very well try to take a third, and there he goes. Third coming out. Drone moving right on over, so Horror will not be aggressive early on. He's not going to try to punish Beastyqt in a sense that he's not going to be pushing out to do damage. He instead is just going to try to take the third base and get that strong economy. And you may say, if you're new to StarCraft, well, why is it that that's okay if Beastyqt is taking 2 bases and it's risky? Why is Horror taking a third not crazy risky? Well, just looking at how the race functions, Zerg typically wants to be 1 base above their Terran or Protoss opponent, and that's why a lot of times you'll see that Zerg player go for a quick expansion while another player will stay on 1 base for a little bit longer. And yeah, there you go. So if you're new to StarCraft, there's some tips for you. That's just basically how the race functions. Horror now moving around still and trying to harass the SCVs. Fortunately for him, though, first Marine is coming out, so that's going to force him away. We can also see a bunker coming out here for Beastyqt, trying to start that wall off. He is going to want to form a wall off, likely to see possibly an engineering bay up front, along with a few supply depots. Now, what is going to be taking place for Horror? Well, he will be going almost strictly Vespian for almost strictly minerals for a while and holding off on the Vespian. Looks like he will be getting just enough for the metabolic boost, but I will expect him after that fact to pull all of his guys off the gas. That will be my assumption here. Is he going to do it? Oh, wow, as of now, it keeps going. There we go, finally pulling off the gas and gets a little bit extra, and then finally taking it off. So 4 extra, not the worst of things. But the reason I expect that is just because of the fact that he has his third up, and obviously he wants to get that at least somewhat saturated. He's really going to need that extra boost in minerals, so he wants to make sure that he's got as many guys mining on those mineral patches as possible. Getting just enough Vespian for the metabolic boost, allowing him to try to get a little bit of map control early on. And there's Beastyqt as he continues to try to get that wall up front there. We've got 4 Lings about to pop up. That should be grabbing the tower and doing a bit of scouting, likely to poke the front of Beastyqt's base. Beastyqt actually attacking out very hard and will be going straight for a starport. How interesting is that? We've got a few Hellions coming on through, 2 in play, 2 more about to pop out. Now, is he going to open up with Cloak Banshee and try to harass? That'd be very interesting if Beastyqt attempts to do that. Hellions moving out. Those 4 Zerglings, unfortunately, our Goners are going to try to engage and do as much damage as possible, but those Hellions are so much quicker than them without that metabolic boost, and they really have no choice, and they have been taken out. Managing to get a few shots off on those Hellions, though, do a bit of damage. Maybe force a repair, cost Beastyqt a few minerals, why not, huh? Moving on up, and he will be checking the third, and there it is, scouting the third. Now he knows Horror took that quick third base, and we'll see what he decides to do as a result. Now, as we can see over here, we do have a Banshee coming on through, so we will be opening up with a Banshee. It is not cloaked, however, just regular Banshees coming out for Beastyqt. And never mind, right as I say that, Cloak Research starts here for Beastyqt, so he will be going for some quick cloaked Banshee harass. We'll be interested to see how effective that is going to be. Now, we've got 4 Hellions right now trying to contain Horror, and you can see right now these are the 2 exits for Horror from this hatchery. Is the main and the natural over here exit out of that path, and this third over here exits through there. Now, yes, he's got these back rocks, but it's not likely that he'll be destroying those anytime soon. So what, oh, never mind. I was gonna say Beastyqt's effectively containing Horror, but Horror manages to sneak out 4 lings, and that is not really good. Beastyqt really wanted to deny scouting. Oh, here comes a push though. A bunch of Hellions pushing it up. As Zergling's moving up, there you get intercepted there by that bunker. Hellions pushing forward, and they're gonna start roasting some drones, and oh no, Horror's in a tough spot. Queen tries to block the ramp, but does so ineffectively as the Hellions continue to push and keep roasting. Roach Warren popping in, but the drone numbers keep falling, and finally takes out the last of the Hellions. That was painful. 22 workers killed in that Hellion engagement. That is not good at all for Horror. Terrible start. He drones up incredibly hard and ends up losing most of them. That was unreal. He's only got 36 drones left. That just goes to show you how many he lost. Almost losing about 50%, because I'm sure a few more have popped out since we looked at that. That was a hefty loss. And here come the Cloak Banshees. Beastyqt following up one harass immediately with another, going straight for those injured workers, and this is awful right now. Oh man, Horror is just getting worked this game. His economy is going to be shot here. This is not good at all. So many workers killed. 39, 40, keeps going up. This is really bad. Horror, unfortunately, going to continue to take losses as he still does not really have a response at all for these Cloak Banshees. One Queen is down too, and the Queens are what he needs to fend these off. The numbers keep getting smaller and smaller. Banshees continue to do work. 16 kills for him, 8 for him. Running out of energy though. Beastyqt decides to retreat, but I don't know how long it's going to be for. Might as well get a few free kills over here, huh? There's no anti-air, why not? Banshees continue to do work. This is very sad to watch. We've got a Banshee over here as well. 5 kills already. He's been working at this line. This is really unbelievable. Oh man. So we got 3 Banshees in play. It is just those 3. I was just checking to see if there were any more anywhere. A couple Lings will be delaying this expansion, but here comes the Marines and tanks for Beastyqt. And let's take a final count as the Banshees are retreating. 51 workers killed. Beastyqt, I can safely say right now, has this game in the bag. What's going to happen next? Well, we're seeing a transition right now into Marine Tank, Stim Pack, Combat Shield, as well as that Siege Tech coming on through, and he's just going to plan a follow-up push, and really, I don't think Horror has much of a chance of defending it. I mean, he has no army right now. He had to spend all of his larvae rebuilding workers just to get a decent economy back up after that hefty loss that he just took. Just coming out with a few Lings, but look at this mounting army here for Beastyqt. Got 63 supply worth of army right now in play as opposed to the 19 of Horror. Beastyqt has got this game, but he's deciding not to push yet. I think he's waiting a little while longer. Obviously, we can see still waiting on that tech. We have got the level 1 armor upgrade coming through. Level 1 weapons is done. Stim Pack just about finished, and so is Combat Shield. Wouldn't be too surprised if he pushed with those upgrades, but it looks like he may not, in fact, as he is planning instead to drop. I feel like Beastyqt is probably drawing this out a little bit unnecessarily. I really think that if he pushed, he would have the game right now. I mean, sure, there's a fair amount of Lings, and we've got a Baneling Nest coming on through, but he's got enough to deal with that. Stim Marines would eat that up pretty quickly, especially with tanks set up for siege as well. As long as he didn't get caught by surprise, he could take the game now. But instead, deciding, as we can see here, to do some drop harass. We've got SCV over there. Now here is the 1 medevac dropping in the main here for Beastyqt, and let's see what he can do. Stimmed up Marines, get met by some Lings, pushed back, but No damage done at all. Didn't take any losses. Took a little bit of damage to the medevac, but oh no, did he lose a Marine? Oh no, dropping one Marine. Okay, so he dropped one Marine over there. He hasn't lost anything yet. Dropping one Marine to look for a possible 4th of Horror. We've got centrifugal hooks coming out for those banelings. It's researching right over there in that baneling nest. Look at all those speedlings. Now, unfortunately, I don't know. It's gonna be it's like the longer Beastyqt waited, actually, the worse of a position he is in. It's just because there's like so many more lings in play now. I feel like now Horror actually has the slightest possibility of contending with this. Obviously, he still can't really deal with those Banshees in play, but still, he's got a sizable force right now. And is in a much better spot than he would have been if that push came just a little bit earlier. But it does look like Beastyqt did want to wait for some upgrades. Again, we can see the level 1 armor upgrades coming now. Here come the Speedlings and Banelings, and Horror deciding now is the time. Moving forward for a full surround. Banelings pushing forward as well. The Speedlings doing as much damage as they can. And it does do quite a bit of damage, but not quite enough. The tanks really softened up. Not a lot of Marines left, but Horror realizes that's the game and calls it. Beastyqt opened up this game with some incredible harass, first pushing out with Hellions and absolutely destroying the worker count of Horror. Then he followed up with Cloaked Banshees and was able to continue that assault. Unfortunately, from that point forward, Horror really didn't have much of a chance. We saw a last-ditch effort here, but after that failed, he called the GG. Alright guys, thank you for watching. That was Game 1. We'll be moving on to Game 2 in just a moment, so stay tuned.